All right, guys, y'all know what time it is. I done spent all summer growing out my little pixie, and I got just enough inches to do me some boho braids. My go-to colors are 2 and 4, and I don't blend them. I just do individual braids in each. And for a little pop of color, a little visual interest, I like to do accent braids in the color 4, 27, and 30. If you're ever thinking about color, this is my top recommended color blend for clients. It is perfect for all seasons and blends so well with all skin tones. Now for my secret weapon. I was browsing around Amazon one day and stumbled upon this boho hair. You see, at first glance, it looks like great curly boho hair, right? But it's not just that, y'all. It is pre-separated. You heard me. It is already pre-separated. When I tell you this is a game changer, this is beyond a game changer. Not only is this hair pre-separated, the hair is full from root to tip. There are no sparse hairs, there are no short hairs. The hair comes all out in one single piece. So for all my braiders out there, and if you've ever worked with boho hair, you know this saved me so much time and so much headache. Each strand is pre-separated and sealed together with what looks to be hair glue, and it's completely dry so it doesn't fall apart when you're using it. So whether I'm prepping or pulling, I don't have to worry about hair just falling out all over the place. One pack comes with 160 strands. I got 2 and only used a pack and a half. All right, let's get started. So I've already shampooed and deep conditioned my hair. Before I blow dry, I layer in these products first. Like I said, I am not a product junkie. I'm not going to go out and buy a whole bunch of new products. I'm going to stick to what I know works best. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I went ahead and got an undercut. Since I work the same hours as most other stylists do, I went ahead and asked hubby to handle the job for me, and he did an awesome job. I love it so much. I don't know if it's an over 40 thing or if it's just too hot in Texas, but for some reason, I do not like hair on my neck anymore. I get a lot of questions about this blow dryer. I actually just posted a short about it. It is a 5-in-1 detachable blow dryer. It has a lot of attachments that are quite useful. I've always preferred paddle dryers or dryers that have attachments like this because who has time to be drying your hair with both hands? I just don't have the wrist action for it. And you see how close I'm able to get into those roots with that attachment there? Game changer. This is of course another one of my favorite Amazon finds, and I think it's on sale still right now. I will link it in the description box below. It is always going to be linked in my Amazon store along with all of the other products and tools used in today's video. Once I'm done drying, I go in with my BioSilk Silk Therapy Serum. This is amazing stuff. It does a great job of sealing in all of that moisture and keeping your hair from reverting. Yes, it's pricey, but a little goes a long way. You see, I only used about a pea size. And before I get started, I need to take these press-ons off first because it's already hard enough doing your own hair. It might as well be easier with no nails. And now I'm going to go ahead and start my clock. It is officially 2:28 and we're going to start braiding. Now I've seen everyone using the 3-way mirror, which would have been great if I had a space in my house that made sense for it. I didn't really have anywhere to hang it up and actually see a mirror behind me comfortably. So I just went the old school method. This is how I always used to do my hair in the bathroom, one row at a time. And really it's that first row that is the most crucial because it sets the tone for the rest of the head. And the hardest part is the back behind the ear because once I get to the front, all I do is carve out my lines on each side of the head, and then I use the mirror to connect the lines in the back. Now in the past I have used the screen mirroring method, but in my mind it was just way more time consuming. The setup, the look back, all of that stuff, it was just too much. So I felt like it was a lot easier just to go with what I know, you know. Now for the boho pieces, I only did about 1 per braid on the first 3 rows, I believe. And then as I moved up, I added more to each braid. So after this row, I think I did like 2. And then after that row, I did like 3. And then when I got closer to the top, I did like 4 or 5. And again, I didn't even use all 2 bundles. I only used a bundle and a half. And here's a closer look at how I actually braid. It kind of looks inverted because I'm braiding backwards. And here is one way of inserting the boho piece, and that's just to loop it downward, braid it a couple of times, and then pull the boho piece out and continue braiding. Now I do it a different way for the rest of the head, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But this is really a good premise on how to add the boho piece in without it looking kind of funky. But you see how seamless that is? I don't have to worry about grip. I don't have to worry about anything but cutting off the little flyaways when I get done, because the hair is just seamless. It's just seamless. I remember the biggest headache I had last time I did this was the hair just kind of kept falling out of my hand. But because it's already pre-separated and it does not come apart, I can just grab, insert, and continue braiding. Game changer. For the ends, I left a good 5 or 6 inches loose because I'm going to braid and dip these at the end, and you'll see it'll be a seamless blend. For the braiding hair, I went with the 32 inch because I didn't want it to be as long as I did it last time. I wanted it mid-back length because I wanted more volume at the top. But here is another way of inserting the boho hair. This is much easier from my perspective, braiding myself. I just insert the flat piece into the braid and pull the boho part at the top and just continue braiding. This makes the process a lot more seamless, and I don't have to worry about the hair coming loose over time because, again, it's already pre-separated, it's already sealed, and there's no short pieces just kind of hanging out there. So, like I said, game changer. Now when I got closer to the top to add more volume, I made sure to add a boho piece in at the braid before I even started. So right there at the root. And you notice that every time I add in a boho piece, I'm just grabbing with my pincher fingers. Those are the fingers that are always holding the middle leg of the braid. Once I've locked in the boho hair, then I can start adding in my braiding hair and continue braiding per usual. Now I have been looking and on the search, but so far this hair only comes in the natural color 1B, so keep that in mind. But you can color the hair because it is human hair. I'm not sure how it would work with the sealed ends because, you know, once you start adding chemicals and stuff, it won't change the color. So I'd be careful with that, but hopefully they will take off and start offering more color options. If they can at least do a 613 where you can color the hair yourself, that might be helpful. But as for now, I've only been able to find it in the color 1B. Also, remember I told you this hair was full from root to tip? I got the 16 inches. The 16 inches. These strands look so long. I thought I had got the 18, but these are actually the 16. So if you're going to do like a curly bob or something like that, they do come in shorter lengths, like a 14, which will save you a lot more money and brings me to my next point. Guess how much this style cost me? Counting the braiding hair, counting the boho hair. $72. The boho hair was only 60 bucks and the braiding hair was only $12. So, you tell me, is it worth the Saturday at home doing your own hair and saving $300, $400, $500, $600 in some cases? I think so. And man, every time I do these things, I get so mad at myself because I would have killed it in high school if I knew what I was doing. I mean, I would have had a different set of braids every week in every color imaginable. But anywho, here we are. I have made it to the 6-hour mark, a little under, and it is dinner time. I need to go take me a little breaky break, have something to eat. And here is the timestamp. I took about an hour to eat and just kind of relax my arms. And then it took me about an hour to finish that last top piece. And here we are on the last braid. I just wanted to walk you guys through how I do the top. As you can see, I kind of have to braid with my hands behind my head. So it's a good thing that I took that break because this is actually probably the hardest part. It's harder than doing the back. And to be perfectly honest with y'all, I've thoroughly enjoyed this little time to myself. I set up my whole little station in my closet by my vanity. I popped my laptop open, and I finally started House of the Dragon. Yes, I'm a Game of Thrones girly. The series started off slow, and yes, it was quite dark in a lot of scenes, but because I had nothing but time on my hands today and I was multitasking, I got a solid 6 episodes in. And now I'm hooked. I can't even wait to go back and rewatch all of Game of Thrones now. But if you've ever braided your own hair and actually sat down and took time, or maybe on a wash day, and just enjoy that time and peace to yourself, there's something quite therapeutic about it. I don't know how to explain it, but it is very therapeutic, and I don't mind doing it, to be honest with you. In the past, I used to get nervous and anxious about doing my own hair because there were so many things going on and I needed to get done in a certain amount of time. But on this day, I made sure I had time. All right, so we've made it to the finish line. Here is the timestamp. It is officially 10:52. That puts me right under 7.5 hours. Of course, I didn't count my prep time. I didn't count my break. So yes, if I was doing this on a client, I probably would knock this out in 3.5, 4 hours, depending on how long or thick their hair is. And to finish off the ends, I just braided down 2 braids. And I did them fairly large because I want the curl pattern to match the boho hair as much as possible. I also kept the ends loose for a very special reason you'll see in just a moment. And while my hot water kettle is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and set my roots with a foaming wrap lotion. You'll want to use anything that is for setting and wrapping. This helps loosen up any of the product that you used on there and helps set the hair in place. Now all I gotta do is dip the hair, and I've always done it this way. I dip the hair and then I kind of scrunch it on a towel to get the ends to kind of like curl up with the boho hair. It kind of forms with it. It's so hard to explain, but it works like a charm every time. And don't forget, let the hair cool down before you take it loose. You can curl it with perm rods or flexi rods, but I really like the beachy wave look. In this shot, it's still wet, but here it is completely dried. I love it so much. It came out exactly the way I wanted it to. The length is perfect for my height and stature, and I love the highlighted pieces. The boho hair is incredibly soft, and because it is so full from root to tip, I didn't have a whole lot of flyaways or shedding. Y'all know I'm bad about wearing a bonnet, and I literally did not wear anything on my head for a full week, and it has not tangled yet. If you got a vacation coming up, this is the perfect style to go for because it looks incredible wet or dry. This is also a great healthier alternative to sew-ins, quick weaves, or wigs. And I didn't even use the full 2 bundles. So imagine if you got 3 or 4 bundles, you could definitely get the Bora Bora style look. If you're a client looking to book this style at our shop, this would fall under small knotless braids with the human hair boho add-on. As always, if you found this video helpful in some way, shape, or form, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and you share it with a friend. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.